welcome back to another episode of Publicized Theory podcast, the place where I talk about self mastery, self development, and concepts that'll help all of us become the best version of ourselves. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Today, I wanted to dive into the concept of self confidence, how we can build more self confidence in ourselves, and how we can develop habits that will ultimately lead us to having a higher sense of self confidence. It's one of those things that we either have or we don't, or we develop early on, or we didn't develop early on. And there are a whole host of reasons why that may be. At the end of the day, I believe that all of us, each and every day, could build self confidence that is sustaining, that will help us grow, and that will help us achieve some of the toughest things that we have to achieve in our list of goals that we have for ourselves. The key to building self confidence in many ways is keeping the promises that we make to ourselves. It's essentially having a contract with yourself that states, I will do everything in my power to keep the promises that I make to myself, to do the things that I know I need to do in order to be successful. And three, take myself serious day in and day out. Because if we break down self confidence at its core, what we really get is feelings and characteristics and attributes that make us feel secure. There are so many people who have succeeded in life because they were confident. They believed in themselves, they believed in their visions, they believed in the dream that they had. Building self confidence begins and ends with us. Yes, you can have those around you who try to instill confidence in you by reminding you that you are great, that you are a chosen one, that you are capable, that you are more than enough. But internally, if you don't genuinely feel that way, oftentimes those messages won't resonate as deeply as they should. So, how can we build that self confidence within ourselves? The first step, in my opinion, is start keeping the promises that you make to yourself. If you say you're going to do something, then you have to do it. You have to follow through. If you look at your goals that you have set for yourself, your personal goals, not so much the vision that you have in terms of, I want to build a business or I want to do this, I want to do that, but the ones that hit home, the ones that are self developing, the ones that are tailored to building yourself up, personal development. Those are the promises you need to continue to keep. Those are the promises that you need to make, that you need to keep, that you need to follow through on. Because what happens if you make a promise to yourself that you're going to do something and you follow through and you do it? That gratifying feeling, that satisfying feeling that you have instills more confidence in you the next time you have to do it. Why? Because you have a record backing you up that shows you that you can do it. And as you begin to stack those promises that are being kept and those one mores in terms of all I need to do is keep one more promise, all I need to do is do one more rep, all I need to do is build one more habit, and so on and so forth. As you begin to stack that and develop that, your self confidence begins to grow. But on the other hand, if you always avoid those things, if you always are not truly keeping your word, then how do you expect you to trust you? How do you expect that confidence to build when you have no track record to base it on? You have to think about that for a second, and you have to be honest with yourself and understand that you are at the forefront of everything that you feel and everything that you're able to feel when all is said and done. Yes, there are always external factors that can sway our mood and can sway our emotions and that can sway things that we are trying to do, but that does not necessarily take away the power that we have to dictate the lives that we live. Building self confidence is a journey in itself, because if you're starting with low self confidence, if you're starting with being in an environment that was always attacking your confidence and not allowing you to blossom in that confidence, then yes, you may be starting at a low point. You may be starting at a point where you truly don't see yourself accomplishing much of what you say, or for that matter, anything that you really want, because you don't believe it can be done. You don't believe that it can happen. And in some ways, you don't believe that you deserve it. But I guarantee you, you deserve everything that you desire. If you're willing to put in the time, if you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to accept the challenges that may come with trying to acquire and accomplish those dreams. So look yourself in the mirror and have an honest dialogue. And it doesn't even have to be looking yourself in the mirror, but we all know that we can talk to ourselves in our head and we can dissect everything that we've been doing in ways that only you and you know of. But ask yourself, have I been keeping the promises that I've made to myself? Have I been following through on my word? Can I trust myself enough to follow through? And if the answer is no, the next question you should ask is why. Because it's not so much about the what that doesn't allow you to be the person you want to be or get to the places you want to go, but it's more so the why that is the most important question in that. Why can I keep the promises that I've made to myself? Why can I achieve the things that I want to achieve? Why can I be consistent? Why can I find a way to get it done? And through that question and through those questions, you will come to find answers that will help you the next day in conquering the task that you've been struggling with accomplishing. And it's always about looking for solutions instead of trying to find problems. When you ask those questions, always look for the solutions. If you know that you can't wake up at a certain time and you snooze your alarm every morning, relocate your phone to another room, but still set your alarm so that it forces you to wake up. It forces you to get out of bed. It forces you to have movement at a time when you're not comfortable moving. You rather be in bed. Look for ways to tailor your weaknesses. Look for ways to overcome the setbacks and the hurdles that you continually fall victim to. And through those efforts, through keeping those promises, through finding solutions and ways for you to get better and for you to not slip up on things that you find yourself slipping up on, that's where the self confidence comes from. That's where the belief system builds and becomes stronger because now you have a track record that you've created for yourself that tells you that you can do it. You are enough and you can accomplish anything that you set your mind to. Self confidence isn't something that's genetic, in my opinion. Anyone can have self confidence, anyone can build self confidence, just like anyone can have low self confidence. But that doesn't mean that they have to have low self confidence throughout their entire life. Build self confidence within yourself by keeping the promises that you make, by doing the daily tasks in developing who you are as a person, and believe and watch as time passes by. You have a self confidence that is unmatched, that people will want to gravitate towards because they know that you, for one, get things done. But not only that, you move with confidence. You move with the ability to instill confidence in others as well, just for the simple reason that you are confident yourself. In closing, if you are one that suffers from, and I hate to use the word suffer, but if you are one who does not have the highest level of self confidence right now, what I recommend you doing this weekend is write down a list of small things that you can tackle over the course of the next few days. Little things that you've been putting off, little things that may be intimidating, little things that may be frightening to a certain degree that you can begin to tackle with a greater purpose of building the confidence in you. Remember your why. Remember the reason why you are doing the things that you're afraid of. It's not only to accomplish the goals, but it's also to build a better you, build a more confident you, and build someone that understands that they are capable of becoming the best version of themselves. Lastly, for those of you who are listening, who have the utmost confidence in your capabilities, who have the utmost confidence in what you're able to do day in and day out, look and identify things that you may not be confident in doing. There's a difference between being confident in yourself, but also having a lack of confidence in certain activities that you can potentially become better at. No one's perfect. We all have things that we can continue to harness and grow and develop and strengthen. And I know for me, there are a lot of things that I can do to get better in certain areas in my life. I challenge you to do the same in yours. Find ways and opportunities to get better each and every day. 1% better each and every day goes a long way. With that being said, thank you again for tapping into another episode of Publicized Theory. Have an amazing weekend. Start to build that self-confidence in you. As always, stay safe, stay blessed.